So good afternoon and welcome to the Laws of Attraction, DTN, from the Stakeholders View webinar. We're super excited today to share the experiences of our two special guests, Bill Coleman and Nate Nuzzo, as we dive into their results, value, and get an insider's view of their program that they currently have running on outerbanks.org, which is the official website of the Outer Banks Visitor Bureau. So to jump right in, let's go ahead and get started. And I want to introduce everybody that is on the line today. Myself, I am Leah Wick, Senior Director of Advertising. And Stacy Gregory is going to be helping in the background. She's going to be taking your questions, which you can do through chat. And if right now, if you could actually do me a favor, if you can hear us okay, if you can go to that chat box and just type in yes, can hear you, okay, hello, any of those things work so we know that you can hear us okay, that would be fantastic. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move ahead and start our introductions. So again, my name is Leah Wick, and I am the Senior Director of Advertising with DTN. I've been involved with advertising for over 20 years, and I've been with DTN since 2012. I kind of say that once you've been in advertising or marketing, much like tourism, it gets in your blood, and I can't imagine doing anything else. So I am very fortunate to be here and love what I do, exactly what I do. And I want to introduce our special guests. So first off, we have Bill Coleman. He is currently the CEO of the Roanoke Island Historical Association. And he, as you can see here, he served as a senior management leader with nonprofit arts organizations in Kentucky, Tennessee, and Ohio. He was previously the executive producer of the Stephen Foster story in Bardstown, Kentucky, director of audience development at the Tennessee Repertory Theater in Nashville, Tennessee, and executive director of the City Ballet in Knoxville, Tennessee, just to name a few. He also has received a BA from the University of Tennessee and an MBA from Bellarmine University in Louisville, Kentucky. Welcome, Bill, and thank you so much for attending today.
Thank you. My pleasure.
All right. And then we have Nate Nuzzo. He is originally from Richmond, Virginia, and he currently is the marketing manager of Outer Banks Realty, and has over 14 years of marketing experience, 8 with large reputable vacation rental managers on the Outer Banks. And he recently won the Currituck County Hospitality Award for Guest Service Management Excellence back in 2016. That is a mouthful. Before making his move to Hatteras Island with a focus on all things marketing, he and his team hope to capture new audiences and engage with guests like never before. Thank you, Nate, and welcome.
Thanks for the opportunity. Appreciate you having me today.
Absolutely. So what we're going to do today, and we're going to jump right on in, is we want to learn how local businesses can benefit, such as yourselves, from this program. We are going to get their results. We want to hear how this has benefited you in referrals, and how much you guys value your relationship with the destination, with in particular the Outer Banks Visitors Bureau. So we're going to jump right on in, but we first want to find out, and let me forward the next slide. Bill, if you could tell us a little bit about what the Lost Colony is, what service it provides to the community, any other great detail that you'd like to expand on about the Lost Colony.
Sure. The Lost Colony is an outdoor theatrical production. It's, in fact, the longest-running symphonic drama in the country. It was first staged in 1937. We're on Roanoke Island, which is, it's in the Outer Banks, part of the Outer Banks. We run in the summertime. As you can see from some of the pictures, we have a large cast production, but we tell the story of the first colonists that came here. You all think they went to Jamestown, Plymouth, but that's not true. They came here first, but we don't know what happened to them, the lost colony. And the Roanoke Island Historical Association is the producing organization. It's a nonprofit, and that promotes the annual production. It's a great story. We are a tourist attraction in the Outer Banks, and have been successful for a lot of years.
That's great. Now, are you guys all year round? Do you do these shows all year?
No, we just go from late May until August. A lot of the folks in the show, in fact, we have 80 people in the show and another 30 plus in support. And a lot of them are college students, so that's primarily when the most tourists are here at the Outer Banks, and primarily when I have most of my guests and crew available. So that's pretty much the way it works. But we run every night but Sunday.
Wow.
And for the folks in the show, it's kind of a Broadway-like experience because they'll do over 70 shows in the summer.
Wow.
And it can be hot, and there can be bugs, and there can be rain, and there can be other challenges. But it's a fantastic experience for the folks in the show, and then the audiences love the show as well. About a 2-hour-long show with an intermission.
Wow. All right, awesome. Thank you very much for that. Everybody should check out the website and go learn a little bit more about that. It sounds like a really good time. And, it's interesting, the way that we view things historically and the way that we can be kind of skewed sometimes on what we believe and what really happened sometimes don't meet. So this is great.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you for providing that service. So Nate, same question for you. If you can expand a little bit on Outer Beaches Realty and what services you provide and anything you'd like to let us know about the organization.
Sure thing. Thanks. All right. Well, Outer Beaches Realty is a premier vacation rental company in Hatteras Island. We're a family-oriented business with over 400 rental stretching about 50 miles of coastline. So we were founded back in 1986 by Alex Risser, who used to be the RMA manager, and he's still at the building. So that's kind of like my Obi-Wan of sorts in the market. But yeah, it's just a fun vacation rental company. We put our guests first. We're connected with our guests in every facet and every single channel. We connect with our homeowners. We do monthly newsletters. We try to keep them connected in what's going on, and especially with revenue management. So it's a good company. I mean, if you could say one thing we do, I would say that we sell vacation experiences. We just try to make sure that people have the best experience possible, and we know and understand how important vacation time is to everybody. So we try to just make sure that we deliver the best experience possible. So that's what we do in a nutshell. We just, try to get people down to the beach, and luckily we live in such a gorgeous area that, with the right presentation and also a little bit of help from you guys, we're able to get, good vacations in front of the right people. So. Yeah,
and it also sounds like, so you just said you recently, the Gobble Gobble that you guys did, you also do some grassroots, it sounds like?
Yeah, we do a lot of events and sponsorships.
Nice.
I think, being on a small island like this, I mean, it's such a tight-knit community that, you almost want to do this. Well, I do want to do those things because it's just part of what we are and who we are. So just last week we did a event. It was like a supermarket sweep-style event where one lucky person got to take a shopping cart and run around a grocery store for 2.5 minutes. And we donated the proceeds from the total in the cart to the local food pantries. So we ended up donating about $1,700 with the guest charitable donation of the cart. So like little things like that are just something that we like to do. It's not necessarily going to bring us vacation rentals, but it's something our whole company can rally behind, and it just gets you that much more excited and just to be able to help out in the community. So it's just part of what we do.
Yeah. Well, I think it's great because, like you guys both have said, it's a strong community out there. So it's important that you guys build up that community presence and help each other out and know your neighbor, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So what we've been talking about, or what we are here today to talk about, is the digital paid advertising program that you guys have on outerbanks.org. And we just want to get a little bit more detail about the program and how you have felt like the program has benefited you, and get into more of those nitty-gritty type of conversations with the results and things. But the first thing I would really like to know, and we can start with you, Nate, if you're good with that, is what were your thoughts when you first heard about this program, that there was an availability to do something on this website?
Well, I think, we wanted to explore any new opportunities, and with seeing the traffic and the results that you guys were able to get on social media platforms, I think, that just kind of opened up the conversation where we needed to go in and look at what exactly you guys were offering. And then, I'm new to Outer Beaches too. I just got here in April and took over marketing in June, so I'm still green to the whole area here. But I would say that it's been a great success so far. So I wish I had more about the planning to tell you about, but I just know that it's been a benefit, and it's something that we really like to do our best in that program.
Awesome. So, Bill, now I think you were here from the beginning of it. What were your thoughts, like when you first heard that this was an availability?
Well, the outerbanks.org website is very strong.
Yeah.
Gets lots of visits, and anything that would give me more exposure on that website I was very, very interested in.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously in this digital world, we're able to look at where people go and what they do, and so we were able to track down and say, well, the outerbanks.org is where a lot of people are going, lots and lots. So we felt like we just needed to jump on that and take advantage of it, and it's worked out very well for us. Good.
So with a question with that, it's kind of expanding a little bit on that same question is, you were excited about it, and then when you actually learned about the program, Bill, and we actually went through the opportunities and everything else, what really drove you? Like, why did you participate? Like, oh, yep, this is exactly what I wanted to do, and this is why.
Well, again, we just knew that Outer Banks was, the Visitors Bureau is very strong, the website's very strong, and, honestly, we jumped on, we thought what would work for us, and we kind of, stuck our toe in it, as it were, and just had great results. So when Meredith showed back up, it was, what else you got? Because every penny I put into it, I felt like was a good investment. So at the Outer Banks Visitors Bureau website, at that point, we were on the attractions page as a featured on the attractions page. And then we kind of looked at it on our end and said, wait a minute, you got to go from what to do in the Outer Banks, and that takes you to attractions. So I want to be on the what to do or things to do or must-dos or whatever it was. And so we jumped on that, and the results were even more. And we're able to, because we're selling tickets, we're able to electronically track someone from that site through that ad and directly to us, and all the way to ticket sales. So I can look at dollar amounts that are coming in because of that. And it's the number one thing for us. So when she showed up again, I said, what else you got? I'll spend whatever it takes to get on there. And we jumped in and got the mobile banner. I think that's one thing we didn't have. And so, again, we remained happy. They showed up and gave us everything. We looked at everything that could be the choices that were out there, and they came with someone from the Outer Banks Visitors Bureau, who helped talk us through it, Julian Kelly. And so they, I just thought it was a great opportunity, and I know I'm waiting for her to come back to tell me what else I can buy.
Well, I'm sure she'll be back soon for sure. So,
right.
Definitely a partnership. It's definitely a partnership.
Exactly.
And Nate, even though I know that you inherited the program, knowing what you do know about the program, why would you choose to participate now?
Well, I think there's a lot of reasons, actually. I mean, you guys, well, one, you just make it so simple to use and simple to update. I mean, the user interface on our end is just simple, and it pretty much almost runs itself. And if I do have any questions, I mean, I can reach out to Meredith or you, or even the ladies at the Visitor Bureau, like Lori and Julianne, have been super helpful. So I just, the relationships, I think, is very important. But not only that, but Hatteras Island, where we operate, it's a small little area, and Outer Banks is so much bigger than that. So we're a tiny little island, and we're trying to get more traffic to our area. And the Visitors Bureau obviously just has a wealth of information on their website, and just having our option on there links a lot of referral traffic to our page. So it just helps us get a customer base that we wouldn't normally have gotten otherwise. People might not be searching for Hatteras Island or, vacation rentals oceanfront Hatteras Island. They might be looking for Outer Banks. So,
right.
We can certainly funnel money into that when we're looking at analytics we're looking at pay-per-click. But, when you guys are already doing that, it's almost like we're competing. So it's kind of like, hey, let's just go ahead and jump on board, and, results are getting better and better every year. So making it easy for us and good results, I mean, it's just a win-win combo.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. Something I've said over and over again, it's kind of like, jumping on that train, it's moving and it's geared towards driving traffic and driving referrals. So, why not jump aboard it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. So the big question, now you guys have touched on this, a little bit as we've gone along. But we really want to get into those results, because that's the big thing. And different businesses look for different types of results, right? It could be revenue generating from ticket sales or, from bookings. It could also be from branding and getting their name out. And there's lots of different things that people value when it comes to programs like this. So we're kind of interested in, and we're going to start with the Lost Colony here. Now, this is our recording, and it's over the last 13 months. And we do real high-level reporting. You're the ones that get into, like, nitty-gritty of, like, hey, I do the ticket sales. But over the last 13 months, it looks like 1.8 million, a little bit above that, you've gotten as far as impressions goes, and 10,000 clicks, which are click-throughs to your website from this website, at a 0.56 click-through rate, which is phenomenal by all means. But when you talked a little bit, Bill, could you expand a little bit of how this performance has translated into you? So you talked about ticket sales and things like that. I mean, can you expand a little bit on what this has meant to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, we're moving into a digital market, and more and more exposure in that regard is very helpful. I mean, obviously, I don't have the ability to market all over the country, and I have to rely upon the DMO to do that for us. So I feel like they do a great job. We work as partners in regards to what we think we need to do. But
right.
More importantly for me, it's just a chance to get in front of those people that they're bringing into their website. And again, we're able to, with analytics, say, well, this many people, as you have, clicked, and then this many people went in and to the website to purchase tickets. This many people purchased tickets. This is how much dollars it was. So I can truly quantify every bit of what's happening through the website and through the ads that we do with them.
Right. Yeah, that's good. So you use analytics to give you a lot of that detail then.
Yeah, my ticketing company has the ability to, catch them when they come in, from where they're coming from, and then let me know all the way down to the dollar amounts that are sold. So
that's awesome.
It's very helpful, and like I said, it's like if I can drive any more, because it's a numbers game. I think we all know that the more people I can get in front of the Outer Banks Visitors Bureau, the more people that I can get in front of me, and the more people that I can convert to ticket sales. So it's been very valuable in that regard.
Good. Yeah, and it's not even, you're also getting in front of extremely targeted people. They're interested in the area. So do you also find that beyond tourism, you're also getting some locals?
Yeah, we have a few things that we'll offer with locals. We have a children's show that we'll do that locals will be coming in. And then we have a big wine festival that we do in the fall, which is a fundraiser for our organization. And so we'll throw that on there as well.
Great.
Primarily, I think people are visiting that site that are people from out of town looking for things to do when they get here.
Sure.
But we in our surveys, for example, we're able to say most people decide that they're going to come to our show a month or more before they get here, but yet the tickets aren't purchased until closer, and we think obviously people are showing up and looking to see what days it might rain.
Sure, right, yeah.
Weather's a factor. So, even then, even though, like I said, I know that this many people bought tickets directly from that route, there's plenty that are learning about us that way, are showing up, and they're clicking in, but they're not necessarily buying tickets at that very moment.
Right. Well, good.
So my point is I think the impact's even more so than what I can quantify.
Yeah, sure. The neat thing about, online is the fact that you can quantify quite a bit of it, but sure, there's always going to be those that, just show up same day or come from a different resource after finding this to begin with. But that's great.
Right.
So, Nate, same thing. We've got 1.9 million impressions, 11,000 clicks, same click-through rate, which is amazing to me. So now, how do you expand on this performance and quantify and, you say it's valuable. How do you figure that out?
All right. Well, I think Bill kind of touched on a lot of what we do, but we're almost in similar markets where you got a lot of people coming, and like Bill had said, more traffic than you can really quantify. Because we can track almost anything in Google Analytics, but the phone calls that come through from the website, I think, are something that aren't on paper, but we use special tracking numbers that can actually follow the guest, so we know, hey, you use this number that we used on their ad. So I think, overall, we're really happy seeing the success and what's working. I think just from looking at previous years and looking at what's happened this year, there's been a redesign on your website that I think has been substantial. There's more of a vacation guide, like a travel guide on your page, and we're seeing a lot of traffic from that. So in general, yeah, just like I mentioned earlier, just better traffic year over year, just makes us want to just kind of keep going. And with the fact that it's so easy, even, we just got through Black Friday. It was really nice to be able to just go onto your page and then drop, our Black Friday deal on your page, and I can instantly see how many people are coming from outerbanks.org over to our page, and if they're converting or if they're not, if they're in a cart and they're abandoning their cart, we can reach out to them. So we're able to kind of harness some of that traffic and then get bookings out of it. So I've just been really pleased overall with the results.
Great. And that actually touches on, I want to expand on that a little bit. So, originally when we were talking about this, I talked about different ways people use these numbers, they track different things, they have different needs that come out of this, different value. Something that you touched on, it isn't even just the clicks that go to your website, it sounds like. You also use that information to actively reach out and market to them. Is that correct?
Absolutely. There's a good way, some tricky ways to do it in our system. We have a really robust website. We just switched over to LiveRes, and it's just been phenomenal being able to target people in different ways. So the lead systems that we use, I guess some people, they call them CRM or customer relationship management. The way that it filters in our system, it just flows really easily. So we're able, to put call outs on our website, get people to sign up for their email, specials. We're able to reach out to people if they have questions. So we just try to make it easy. As long as you guys can send us the traffic, we can usually make them convert.
Yeah. Well, and that's the whole goal. We always say that we can get to the traffic, but it's up to you guys to sell it,
Yeah.
And specifically with you, I'm going to touch on another topic really quickly too. As you said when we had chatted before, there's a lot of competition when it comes to vacation rentals and lodging and places to stay. And do you feel this performance and what you do with this program really helps you kind of get an edge on that?
Absolutely. I really think that in this environment, they say it's one of the most competitive in the United States just because of the amount of homes that we have in this small little island. And it's amazing just to even think about turning over those homes and whatnot. So just don't even think about that at this time. In our case, just being able to throw up banners and kind of our own little personal designs. And, we have a photographer here that's just amazing. And he just goes out and, you give him a mission and he comes back with a wealth of photos that you could use for a year. And then we have a designer that can whip up a banner in no time. So, we use our little advantages on our end to kind of set ourselves apart. And then once you get to our page and you see kind of the vibe that we're going for, which is like, a family-oriented business that's really centric on our employees and our owners, I think once people get there and they can kind of see that, then they usually go with us. So that's just our way to do it. You guys have a lot of flexibility in what you allow us to do on our page. So we just kind of do what we can within our limits and then see what works. And if it doesn't work, then we'll change it pretty quickly to adapt with the market.
Great. Well, thank you. Yeah, these results are pretty astounding from our end, but it's even nicer to hear how it's actually turning into revenue and what it's doing for you guys. So that's really exciting to hear. So a lot of these questions kind of blend in, but I want to take a moment. So, you guys talked about, like Nate, talked about some pay per click and some different programs and different things that you guys do. Why do you think this is so successful? Like, why do you think being a part of this program and this website in general, why do you think it's so successful? And I'll start with Nate.
Well, I think part of it, the amount of work that the people at the Visitors Bureau do. Lee has kind of focused on their partners and looking out for people in the community and looking out for, I guess the stakeholders. It's everybody that's here. And the content that's come out from that, the reach that you guys have on your social, the keywords and things that you guys are working on. I just think it's something that, it speaks for itself if you just go to the page. So just seeing your success helps us grow. Obviously our website's outerbeaches.com. So, sometimes we type in Outer Banks, we might show up. So that kind of helps too. But I think it's just overall, it's just a good, just seeing a good, strong brand and one to associate with other strong brands, I think is a great, it's a great play for somebody in a small area like us.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And now, what kind of programs do you do other than this? The pay-per-click? Do you do like Google AdWords and a few things like that?
Yeah, we experiment with basically anything that's out there that we see successful. Google, I would say, is one of the top for a lot of people. If you've seen our Facebook posts anywhere, we got about 75,000 followers, so we're able to reach those, followers plus their network of friends. So we've got a pretty extensive follower base, but you don't want to put too many eggs in one basket because, there's a lot of things going on in social media, and, security is more and more important every day. So, you don't want to put everything in one and not the other. So we just kind of spread out, what we see works. And I think that, having a strong referral partner that gives you some of that top funnel traffic just really helps you in the long run, especially with us because our booking period is so small.
Right. Well, and I agree. And one thing that you said about trusted is for sure. People are nervous online. I know I am. So I tend to, I know I'll shop and I'll go to a more expensive option just because I trust that option. It's something I've heard of, or it's a name brand, or it's a website that I trust. So absolutely. Really good points. So Bill, same question. So besides, how it's been successful for you, why do you think it's so successful?
Well, I could say repeat a lot of the things Nate said as well for us. But, honestly, it feels it's very simple. It's very clean. It's moved me up to the top above the clutter. There's not probably as many attractions on the beach as there are places to stay. But there's still a lot of competition out there, and so I feel like that I'm getting seen quick and easy, and it's very accessible. So I feel like it works well in a nutshell.
Good, and you're absolutely right. In fact, I think the competition is definitely different, whereas Nate has the quantity of competition. In a sense, you guys are so targeted because there are, fewer options on some levels, but I'm there for 3 days. What am I going to do for those 3 days? Where am I going to spend?
Have a limited amount of money they're going to spend, and the competition is different than it used to be. I mean, people in these homes, as they can probably tell you, they probably have a TV in every room, and they have Wi-Fi throughout, and they have a pool out back. I think I saw that picture. And there's a lot of things that we got to compete against to get them out of the house, off the beach, and over here to see the show.
Sure. Yeah. No, absolutely. Definitely a different marketing target for sure. So then one of the last things we want to talk about, and it isn't even just with this program, but we'll start with you, Bill. Like, how important do you feel your relationship is with the Outer Banks Visitor Bureau to begin with to your business? Not just this program, just in general. Like, that partnership, how important is it?
Oh, it's critical. There's no doubt. As I mentioned before, our marketing budget is very insignificant compared to what the Visitors Bureau has. So they're out there pushing in markets that, trying to get people here, and then obviously we're trying to sell them our product once they get here. But there are a lot of great people over there. They're always accessible. They're willing to sit down and talk about partnership opportunities. And I think that the relationship is probably as important as any that I have in the whole region or on the beach for sure.
Yeah. How about you, Nate? What do you feel?
Well, I mean, just like I guess the theme of the day is, how easy you guys make it, and I mean that just makes my job that much easier. So I would say, like Bill said, critical. I think what Outer Banks Visitors Bureau does is just connect with their partners really well. You guys email us constantly with what's going on in the area. The email takes about a minute to read. There's a tourism summit every year, and you get to meet other people that are in the industry and competitors and all that, and also just kind of hear what's going on. And then, the social media presence, like I mentioned, especially a guy like me that loves videos, Like I could just, watch what you guys do all day. So I think in general, it's just, you guys kind of keep us in line and keep us focused. And, when you guys are working on a big campaign initiative, then we can kind of align with that. So I think, just as long as we can keep up and get to the meetings and whatnot, then, and you guys send us emails and we check them. As long as we do our homework, then it's easy. So, yeah, I like the relationship, and I want to keep it going.
Good. Hey, Bill, I'm going to bounce back to you really quick, just to expand on this a little bit. With your relationship with the Outer Banks Visitor Bureau and like this digital marketing program, what other types of programs are you involved with?
Well, I mean, we're like Nate said, we're kind of pretty much everything we can come up with and think about, and I think that could be effective. So, we're doing mostly digital. There's some print advertising that we do as well, and there's a little bit of TV. But, primarily, we're trying to do things we can measure. Although I admit to towing a large banner across the beach 2 or 3 times a week.
Good for you.
Which is impossible to measure, but if you've ever been on the beach, you cannot not look up when the plane goes by.
There you go.
You have to look up. So, anyways, now I forgot what the question was, but we certainly will do anything and everything we can to try to drive folks in our door.
Yeah, and then do you do other things with the Outer Banks Visitor Bureau besides this program and your partnership? Do you do other types of things?
Yeah, I mean, they focus on group sales, and that's an element that we'll deal with as well, and that's something we'll work with them on. We get leads in that regard.
Great.
I can't think of anything else specifically, but we meet regularly and talk about opportunities. So
good.
I feel like the communication is strong.
Yeah, good. How about you, Nate? Do you do other things, the networking? Is there anything that you do with them as well? Any other programs that you're part of?
Not on the digital side, but we are experimenting with your print advertising this year. So we wanted to see what the visitor's guide would bring us and if there's anything of value in that. Because we also do a visitor's guide every year. We've seen value in print, especially with our demographics starting to age, and as we said earlier, security being a thing.
Sure.
People love to get that in the mail, and they put it on their coffee table, and a month or 2 from now they'll see it. So yeah, we're trying that out with the visitor center, and
Yes.
and we'll see if that works out for us. But otherwise, I think the options that you guys have on your website right now are working out well, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing. So we just tailor our messages towards what's going on and what sales we have and promotions, and we look at things in a campaign kind of format where it's not just a Facebook post or not just one email, but there's a whole wealth of things behind it. But we always make sure to put the Outer Banks Visitor Bureau in that whole mix.
Good. Yeah, really, really important. We tell people that quite often. So now we're getting to the questions, and I believe we've got a few questions that have already popped in. And Stacy's going to read those.
Yeah, Kathy actually asks, did you have any concerns that this paid program might conflict with benefits already received through your partnership with the Outer Banks Visitors Bureau?
Anyone wants to take that?
I was going to say, I think I can answer that.
Sure.
Because, there are free options, on your website. Anybody that has a business down here can list, but then there's special, that there's special opportunities which we do pay for. And I do see value in those. And, we can see the proof in the pudding, which is when you see a transaction come through in Google Analytics. So, being that we have so many creatives on our side, when we want to make a switch, it's pretty quick and easy. And having those extra placements on your website really helps out. So just having more opportunities, more places to click, I think that's kind of what helps us drive more traffic to the page. So I do see the value in that, but I hope that answers the question. I'm not completely sure if it does.
Yeah, that's good. Bill, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I don't think so. I would just agree with what he said. I mean, we have several products that we're offering in the summer, several different shows, and so yeah, having different places these things can be featured, some paid, some not, is really valuable for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you. Hopefully that answers the question. I'm sure she'll expand on it if not.
Yeah, cool.
I have a new question from Chad. It says, does the online ad compete with the print ad in the visitor's guide? The online ads are cheaper, so why pay more for print? It's a twofer.
Who wants to jump in and take that one?
I kind of.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead, Bill. You're good.
Well, they don't compete, but they would certainly enhance each other. And I think, Nate had mentioned before, they just work in different ways. And I just don't think I would do one without the other necessarily.
And I'm coming from mostly a digital background. We used to do the print advertising. In my old job, we used to do print, and then we kind of got away from it. We moved to an app. And I thought that was a great decision, but at the same time, there is that value in print because, people don't want to be on their computer all the time. They're on their computer all day. So when you get home, you got a nice little magazine, with some weighted paper on it. I mean, we use like all sorts of tricks to try to get people in there, but it's just a whole different crowd. It's a different crowd of people, and if you can get that different crowd of people, even if they're not the one that's going to book, they might tell somebody about it. I just think that, like Bill said, you just got to explore your opportunities and see what you can get out of it. But I think, if it is just a little bit more money, the print, just from what I've seen going into print, you got to proof it a million times. You got to send it to a printer. You got to send it back. That's why print costs so much. It just takes a lot of work. And we've explored newspaper ads, things like that. But when you have a visitor's guide, it's just a little bit different because those people already know what they want. They already know they want to come to the Outer Banks. So now it's just a matter of who they're going to pick or what they're going to do in Bill's case. So that's about it for me.
Yeah, thank you. Makes sense.
Chad has a follow-up question. Are there any implications with the European GDPR data protection privacy policy with running online ads on the CVB website? And does the CVB need to update its privacy policy, do additional tracking or data collection, etc.? Do we need to be GDPR compliant? I don't even know if we can answer that question adequately.
Yeah, we might have to come back to that question. That's a whole thing right there for sure.
Oh, yeah, GDPR is coming. So,
yeah.
European laws. I was just in Scotland and Ireland, and it was fantastic, actually. I will tell you what, because everywhere I went, they asked me if I'd like to opt in. And I was like, no, actually, I don't. So it's going to be challenging for us as marketers to kind of get around that. But I think if you can start working it into your messaging now, and just kind of get that whole, thought process behind, being transparent with your data and putting it out there in your privacy policy and letting people know, I think people actually appreciate that. And when they know what their data is being used for, they're more likely to say, yes, I'll keep using your website. So, we're starting to implement it. We've definitely got it in our privacy policy, but, we're getting to the point where once we get the orders from whoever sends it out, we'll have it in our emails. We'll have it in pretty much all of our campaigns. But it's something in the back burner, it's out there and it's going to come. So it's just a matter of just just be prepared for it and start managing your email list if you can. That might help you out.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I do, we can get some more detail for you as well, Chad. I will say for sure the destinations themselves, such as Outer Banks, they're all over it as well. And it's been a topic for quite a while, along with Simple View, which actually helps with the website with Outer Banks in particular. But it's definitely a hot topic, and it's a great question.
Yes, definitely. And I have one more question. This comes from Lisa. How has the experience been working with an outside agency? Because she knows that Destination Travel Network is located in Tucson, in Simple View.
So who would like to take that?
I was going to say, I've never really felt like you guys were too far away. I don't know. I just learned today that y'all weren't in Outer Banks. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I think, we just make it easy with just constant communication and touch points on, every channel that there is. So I think that's just made it infinitely easy. And if I do ever need anything, I don't think I've ever waited more than 24 hours for a response. So it's been great.
Great. Do you have anything to add to that?
I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good.
Okay.
Bill, do you have anything you want to add to that, or?
All good on this end. I've got no issues at all.
Good.
Okay, well, the final isn't actually a question, it's a comment. Meredith, who Bill and Nate both know, has been listening in, and she wanted to say hello. So, hi from Meredith. And Bill, she said she's on her way.
She's on her way.
Yeah.
Hope she's got something else I can get.
I'm sure she does.
That's really good.
And Meredith helped me out with some Black Friday and Cyber Monday sale items, because I was trying to figure out good ways to outreach our awesome deals. So thanks, Meredith. I appreciate that. We got some stuff running. We did get some bookings out of it. So
yeah,
she's good.
She's a great resource for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Stacy, do you have any other questions hopping up?
And that looks like that's all of them.
All right. Nate, Bill, do you have any closing statements you'd like to add, or?
No, I'd just say, thanks for the opportunity to talk about it. I'm unpaid for this, by the way. I did try to negotiate a cheaper rate for being on this webinar, but I got nothing. But that's okay. I got lots of value in working with you guys, and I really appreciate it.
Awesome. And likewise, thank you guys for this wonderful opportunity. And I do like Kill Devil Grill and Blue Moon. If you guys ever come down to Henderson.
Meredith is making a note right now. She's making a note. Well, we really appreciate your time. We know it's a busy time, and it's just, we understand being in business and everything else. Even 45 minutes to take out of time just to talk to us we really, really appreciate it. And with that being said, I think we are ready to wrap up the webinar. If anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out directly. And Chad, if you want to get some more information, we can expand on your question as we go along. But again, Nate, Bill, you've been priceless. Thank you so very much for your support and your candor. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right. All right, everyone. Well, have a fantastic rest of your day and a good holiday season.
Yeah, thank you guys.